118 countries exact up to the date, major markets being Asia Pacific, Africa, Latin America, the Middle East, and Europe. We feature full-scale production line, from idea to concept, from concept to research and development, to mass production, testing. We handle it all. From the scratch, we make sensors. I think the only thing that we don't manufacture is aluminum tubes, because obviously there's no reason you have to have a special facility. But the rest, we make it just from the scratch. The company is debt-free, so we owe nobody nothing. Annual revenue is 30% annual growth for the last 5 years. And interesting key point that we spend 25% of our profit on research and development. Oh, there it happened. We are small. It's only 150 employees strong, give or take. The percentage of our production items are 60% fuel sensors. This is what pays my mortgage, mostly. 20% is additional sensors, so we call them. That includes angle, temperature, humidity, proximity, ID tags, all that kind of stuff. 15% of income comes from meteorological projects. Another type of the projects we're into is gas analyzers and weather stations. And 5% is supporting software. We have office in India. That's where I came from, this overnight flight from Delhi. And we also recently opened office in UAE. So those offices are active and present, branch offices. Additionally, we are opening an office in Mexico to have a representation in Latin America. Throughout the rest of the world, we work through vast distribution channel. We have distributors in Europe, we have distributors in Africa, and in Asia Pacific regions, places like Malaysia and Singapore. As I mentioned before, so we are mostly into the transport telematics, yeah? Briefly about a few of our products. So one of the novelty and one of the cool products that we manufacture is a capacitive wireless fuel level sensor. Some of you know about this, some of you don't. So for those who don't, let me just give a brief introduction of what that is. Wireless or wired capacitive fuel level sensor has no mechanical moving parts. It actually has 2 electrodes, essentially forming a capacitor. So it measures the level of the fuel with 99% accuracy. That ensures the highest precision for your, for your fuel needs. Basically, you count your money, which you converted into diesel, and you put in your tank. With this kind of a solution, especially being wireless, you avoid any possibility of the driver vandalism. This is much faster installation and communication to most professional GPS trackers, such as Teltonika, for example. We never went away from the wire. The wire is there, one of the most versatile sensors. For the fuel, it has all possible interfaces. Additionally, it has tilt level sensor for the added use case for the water, which the government is not providing, so you have to buy. This is one of the sensors which could be used for that kind of a solution. As a matter of fact, it's being used in some countries. In Middle East, I heard that water is more expensive than diesel or petrol. So you can also measure clear water level sensor, use a water level sensor for the water. Temperature humidity sensor. Regardless of what you transport, that could be ice cream, that could be vaccines, but you want that product to stay fresh. Additionally, this sensor has Bluetooth 5.0 to shoot through the closed refrigerator doors that cause essentially a Faraday cage effect. Also, it has the door opening detection, which gives you information who was opening the door of your refrigerator truck in the middle of the night, you know. Axle for free download for iPhone, Android, and even Huawei phones, which I have. Why is that important? When you want to install certain kind of a hardware, you have to configure, you have to calibrate this kind of a hardware. And we provide the systems integrator or telematics service provider, or it doesn't matter, installer itself, but open up the laptop or provide this laptop to this person. This is inconvenient, it's expensive, and it's also risky, because I personally saw the guy sitting on the crane boom having the laptop on his lap and just doing configuration. It's it's not good. So it's why it's important, because your technicians can just download the app to their phones, and it's free, and they can use it to configure everything from A to Z, from the point A until you open up the sensor box, until the point Z where you just let the vehicle go when it's done. So that all could be done using our app. So let's put this into life. Let's put all this equipment into life. Just a brief use case. I decided to choose fuel theft prevention in mining industry. I'm not sure how it is relevant. We have many use cases, logistics, we have some use cases that come even installation for the trains, for the locomotive, for the boats, but this is one of the cases where I have actual digits from the integrator, what was done. So the mining facility is located in Kazakhstan. It is engaged into the extraction of non-ferrous and precious material, gold mine, basically. But one gold they forgot about was fuel. That particular mine has 580 heavy vehicles, so we will get into this a bit later. And integrator was supposed to install the POC for 25 vehicles. They chose wired fuel level sensor, which is called Escort TD150. Why they chose wired for the mine? Because they were afraid that there would be a lot of interference from anywhere, from the beacons, from the mine itself. They chose Azimuth GPS trackers that are a small manufacturer out of Russia, and Galileo Sky. Some of you guys may know. Additionally, interesting point that those GPS trackers are Wi-Fi. So because of the underground mine, there's no GPS, no GSM coverage, so they chose to use Wi-Fi to actually deploy Wi-Fi network across the mine. Heavy machinery. Those are the pictures actually from the mine, so you could understand that you have to use different kind of a heavy machinery for this, for the mining operation. The crawler excavators, dump trucks, explosive charging machines, excavators. These huge trucks which have these tires which are taller than me, like this. And most of these vehicles, they have very big fuel tanks, 2 tons easily. 2.5 tons. And to fill those fuel tanks, you have to buy this diesel, you have to bring it to the mine, you have to put it in a tank. So what is happening? Fuel is being stolen. Just a few things. It's not the newest case, right? So you can see it's May 2018, but human nature doesn't change, even since that time. When they did POC for 25 vehicles, and it's various vehicles, including excavators, the scroller vehicles, whatever, dump trucks, they didn't tell anybody, that not everybody, but the drivers, that the system is in place, 25 vehicles. So they detected for the October 2017, the discrepancy between documented and real fuel consumption. So what that is, it's actually paperwork fraud. If I'm an accountant for the company, so I give you money, or I get the money from the accountant, right? But I don't spend it on fuel. I actually just report that the fuel was filled. So in October 2017, this discrepancy between documented and real fuel consumption was 10.54%. In money, if I'm not mistaken, it accounted for 37,000 USD at that time. This is just 1 month, 25 vehicles. By the May of 2018, half a year later, this value went down to 1.95%, which you can easily count to the natural discrepancies based on the accuracy of the sensor itself and accuracy of the dispensing units and some loss during the transportation, for example. Oh wow. Okay. Average fuel. Okay, fuel siphoned from the tank. Now, that before I was talking about paperwork fraud. So it's not an actual theft the way we see it. The fuel is siphoned from the tanks, and it says siphoned, but in fact it's double filling, it's underfilling, it's like, you know, I fill up the vehicle, then I just go dump the fuel, I come back again and refuel, or maybe I just really put just the hose in the tank and I like to take the fuel out. So for 25 vehicles, the stolen fuel amounted for 28,000 liters. Just 1 month, 28,000 liters. If I'm not mistaken, by that money conversion rate, it used to be 15,000 US dollars. Fuel sensor will eliminate the possibility of the fuel theft. When we cannot really control what's going on in the paperwork, but at least we can count what is in the fuel tank using the fuel sensor. So by May 2019, obviously using some disciplinary methods, this fuel siphoned from the tank went to 0. Okay, so now you guys know what's happening next. Okay, so yeah, in the mining sector or construction sector, they use average liters per engine hour. So you can see that the average consumption per mining operation went from 68.29 to 46.67, almost by 1/3. So with that being said, I would like to thank Cloud IP for invitation, for organizing such an exceptional event for all of us. I was literally astonished by by this place. It's such a beautiful place, and I would like to thank you for your professionalism, for your attention. With that, thank you so much, and you guys have a great evening.